back to my channel Lessons at Fingertips. Here we discuss on some important topics in really simple words so that it's easier for you all to understand and keep things in mind. Today my topic of discussion is going to be types of money. Well, this is the third part of our money series where we have already discussed on the introduction like what is money and its functions, its characteristics, and today we are going to discuss the types of money. Basically there are 4 different types of money, but first we will study the first two and in the next slide we will study the next two. So first one is what legal tender or fiat money. Now from this video itself you will understand the slight difference that is present between the legal tender money or fiat money. You know, fiat money can also be called as legal tender money, but all legal tender money are not fiat money, okay? Fiat money can be considered as a legal tender money, but all legal tender money are not fiat money. Keep this thing in mind. What do you think is legal tender money? I will start it not from the beginning, but from here. You see, legal tender is any form. Legal tender. What is this legal tender money, or what do you call legal tender? Is any form of payment recognized by a government used to pay debts or financial obligations such as tax payment. National currencies are as used in or like in the US dollar is legal tender money. So basically what is legal tender money? Any currency, legal tender is basically the currencies that is recognized by the government, okay, and that can be used as what? The 5 basic properties of money. What are it? Medium of exchange, store of value, measure of value, standard of deferred payment and stability. So all these 5 properties, the legal currency which maintains, that is called legal tender money. It is recognized by the government. The government tells that this currency is going to be considered as the legal tender money. Got it? So that is legal tender. Like legal tender is any form of payment recognized by a government used to pay what? Debts or financial obligations like tax payment. National currencies such as US dollar is legal tender money. Now let us come here. Sometimes a market determined money is officially recognized by the government. Okay, sometimes a market determined money. What is market determined money? Earlier there was this barter system where people used to exchange the goods and services, right? But there was this problem of double coincidence of one. We have already discussed what is double coincidence of one. So you see here, sometimes what happens in the market after that barter system, in the market some substances like gold or silver we can say or bronze coins were also there. So these were recognized as a form of currency in the market, isn't it? By the people. It was by the people itself it was recognized. So these kind of currencies were then said by the kings or the like the higher officials, the government that time, that these can be utilized in the form of currency. Isn't it? If you purchase something, you can pay either using the bronze coin, the silver coin will be having greater value and the gold coin will have much more value. So this is important it is important to involve a legal mandate to use a specific good. Now what happens, suppose in a market it is recognized that the gold coins or the silver coins are going to be used. Now suppose, and the bronze coin has also been said that it can be used. Now what happens is that suppose the government had said this. Now people have started using the copper coins. So what will happen? In place of bronze coin you are using copper coin. So people are normally accepting it. But you see, that's why there should be a legal mandate which should be applied on it. So that other than these 3 metal coins you cannot use any other metal coin. Isn't it? So that presence of a legal mandate, okay, on the recognized currencies is called legal tender. Got it? So legal tender laws specify a certain good as legal money. The legal tender laws specify a certain good, any certain good as a legal money which courts will recognize a final mean of payment in the contracts and legal means by settling of tax bills. So what is it? It's simply a legal tender is to be applied on a recognized currency so that it will be accepted all over the place or all over the country. Got it? That is legal tender money. But what is fiat money? Fiat money money is something which is considered to be which is a form of money by the order. What does it imply? Specific circumstances. Under specific circumstances, government tells that yes, this can be recognized as a medium of exchange, or will be recognized something which is going to fulfill all the 5 properties. These 5 basic properties are very important. All the 5 properties of money. Then it is called as fiat money. Try and understand this. Fiat money, on the other hand, does not have any intrusive value. Does not have any intrusive value. What does that imply? That if the order which is provided by the government, if that order is removed, then that particular thing is not having any other value. Understood? Suppose gold coin, if you are using, if the government tells that the gold coin which is now accepted in the market as legal currency, if the order is gone, but still that gold coin will have some value, isn't it? But in case of the fiat money, if suppose the currencies which we are using, if that the government tells that this 2000 rupees note is not accepted, what is the value of that 2000 rupees note? After demonetization, what was the value of those 500 rupees or 1000 rupees note? There was no value, isn't it? So they do not have any intrusive value. Understood? And intrusive value, and is not backed by any physical commodities such as gold. Instead, it is government backed. It was considered earlier, what happened, the rupees, the 500 rupees, the 1000 rupees was accepted by the government. The government said that yes, this can be used as money. That's why we were using. And once and any time if the government tells that this 2000 rupees note is not accepted, that means what? That particular 2000 rupees note is not having any intrusive value. How are you going to utilize it? It's just a piece of paper for you, isn't it? So that is called fiat money. Got it? Which prevails, which does not have any value of its own, but is going on. Why? Because of the order of the government. It is backed by the government and not any other physical commodities. I hope it is very clear for you all. Most paper currencies are fiat currency. You see, most paper currencies are fiat currency. Fiat money is based on the relationship between supply and demand. The benefit of fiat money is that it gives what? Central bank greater control. It gives the central bank greater control if in the market there is inflation. Why central bank gets greater control? Because they get to print the money, isn't it? The central bank gets to print the money. So if there is more money in the market, they will apply certain policies and will try to curb the money from flowing in the market. If they needs to supply more money, they will print more money. If the central bank prints more and more money, it will cause hyperinflation. In my videos, I have already explained you how inflation and printing of money is related. Now let's move on to another important part, that is what? Market determined money. What is it? It's quite like, in the barter system prevailing earlier, there was this problem of double coincidence of what? Double coincidence of one. What does that imply? That when we are making any exchange, when we are exchanging the commodities, I am exchanging some commodity from you, right, for the goods and services. So you should be ready to take the goods and services that I am providing. But sometimes this does not happen, and that is called as double coincidence of one, problem of double coincidence of one. And what it is saying, what is market determined money? That when in certain situations, in the market, everyone is ready. Okay, everyone is ready to utilize that particular commodity as an exchange. Okay, that is, however, certain goods economy will generally be generally desired by more people. Okay, more people in the trade for whatever they have to offer. Such good is called as money. Such good is called as money determined by the market. For example, gold coin, silver coin, bronze coin. So what happens is that the market is ready. Now there will not exist any double coincidence of one. That is called as market determined money. I hope you have understood till here. Now let's move on to the next slide. So we shall discuss the other two types of money. One is the fiduciary money. What does that imply? It implies it is like a kind of promise. What is that? For example, you see the check deposits, or you can say about the bank draft. So these are what? These are just the promises, isn't it? If I am giving you a check, you will now take it. You are not taking it as money. Remember, fiduciary money is not is a kind of promise, okay, a written document promise. It's not money. What you will do, you will take the check and give it to the bank. The bank in return will provide you with the money, the actual currency, the fiat money. Understood? So what they are saying is that works as what? A promise and a trust. So what is it? It is a promise, it's a trust that it will be in exchange for that of a fiat or commodity money. What is commodity money? The legal tender money is commodity money. The money which is governed, which is backed by what? By a commodity. That is commodity money, like gold, silver, whatever it is. So that is commodity money. So fiduciary money is what? It's a promise, it's a trust that this document, this particular fiduciary money can be exchanged for what? For fiat money or commodity money. So by the issuer. Who is the issuer? The bank. Now people are not required to take it as money. See, if you take a check and go to the shop and you tell them ki I want some vegetables and fruits, you are not going to get it, isn't it? Why? Because you need not have to consider that as money, as a fiat money. But what you need to consider, you will have to take it to the issuer. Who is the issuer? The bank. And they will give you in exchange the money. So it acts as a promise, it acts as a trust. Next we have what? Commercial money. What is commercial money? It's simple thing. The money that you see whenever you deposit, the bank deposits that you make, the deposit is actually not kept totally with the bank. If you are depositing 1,000 rupees, bank is not going to keep 1,000 rupees, isn't it? What is bank going to do? If you are giving the bank 1,000 rupees, bank is going to keep 200 rupees and the rest it's going to give it to someone else in terms of loan. And while repayment of the loan, that person is going to give 1,400 rupees. So this extra, the extra amount, this extra amount of 600 is what it is done. This extra amount of 600 is the income of the bank, and now from this income the government will pay you some interest. That is, suppose 1,200 government is paying you and rest 400 is government ka profit. Understood? So this is commercial money. Commercial money is a claim against bank for the purchase of goods and services. It's a claim against bank for the purchase of goods and services. It is debt created currency by the bank. What is it? You see the debt, this 400 is created by the bank. Extra, it's the extra amount which is flowing in the it is coming in the circulation. So that is what the debt created currency by the bank. They create more money through a process called fractional reserve banking. What does that imply? Bank, the 1,000 rupees that you are depositing, bank is not reserving all the 1,000 rupees but keeping 200 and rest providing as loan. So that is how bank creates money. That is the process of fractional reserve banking. I hope you guys have liked this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to share it with your friends. I am going to bring out more such informative videos. Till then, bye bye.